Welcome to the HawkCast with your host, AJ Hawk.
I've gotten to know you decently well over the last month or so, I guess. What do you think you're best known for?
Twitter.
You sure?
Well, it depends on where at. I mean, I think the best known thing, I mean, you Google me, you're going to see my mugshot. That's going to pop up. So if you've never heard of me, your first thought is that's the guy that went swimming in the canal, allegedly.
Hold on. I gotta cut you off. Why is it allegedly when you went to court for it and I assume you got charged with something?
I wasn't charged with swimming in the canal. It was public intoxication. So their story of me being in the canal is all hearsay and propaganda, I believe.
Just someone's out to get you?
Yeah. I think the said cop that wrote police report was out to get me. He asked me the same question 5 times and told me if I didn't give him an answer, he was going to send me to jail. So he said, why are you wet? I said, I'm not sure, sir. I was blacked out. I feel like for at least the last 7 hours. I don't know what time it is. I was walking down the street shirtless. He said, why are you wet? I said, I do not know, sir. I'm so sorry. I was blacked out. Why are you wet? I feel like we're going in circles here, sir. You don't tell me why you're wet. You're going to jail. I said, it rained. He wrote in the police report, when asked why he was wet, McAfee said it rained. We are in the middle of a 90-day drought. He wrote that in the police report, trying to make me look bad. So then he asked me where my shirt was because I was shirtless in the middle of October, and it was really cold. And I said, I feel like we're going in circles again. I do not have a clue, man. I don't remember anything. He says, tell me where your shirt is or you're going to jail. And I go, well, I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I'd say it's where I got wet at. So he wrote, when asked where his shirt was, he said where he got wet at, or like with the water. Yeah. So then they colluded that they assumed that I went into the canal, got wet, took my shirt off, and tried to walk home. But I'm a sweater, AJ. I like to sweat a lot when I dance, so I could have been dancing.
So is it possible that someone fed you a roofie?
No, I mean, I could have definitely taken the easy way out. There's 2 easy way outs of that situation. I got roofied, or I turn to Jesus and become a super religious guy afterwards and be like, I'm never going to make mistakes again, blah, blah, blah. And I chose not to. And that's the McAfee way, AJ. I'm not going to take the easy way out of anything. I'm going to go the hard route. I'm going to say I drank myself into that oblivion. I ordered 100 shots of tequila. I remember that happening. Then I was asked by the media when I came back from my suspension, like, are you going to change the way you're living? And that was like the setup. I knew in the back of my mind, like that was a setup for me to say that I found Jesus or Buddha or whatever Tiger Woods said. And I said, no, I'm just not going to be stupid anymore. I realized that I just can't get that type of drunk. I risked a lot of things, blah, 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 kept it moving.
It was during the season, though, right?
Bye week, AJ. Come on. That's not really a part of it. That's off season in the middle of the season. You know it. I know it.
I agree with you. But what were you doing in Indy? If you had your bye week, why didn't you get out of town?
It was Tuesday. I had a trip leave. I was planning on leaving on Thursday. It was early in the week, by the way, and I had to leave anyways because I got suspended. I wasn't even allowed in the fucking facility, so I had to leave. I went back to Pittsburgh.
Okay, so wait, when did you the timeline? I know you've gone over this many times, but I'm just curious because I haven't gotten a lot of the details. You keep saying allegedly, which first threw me off. Yeah, allegedly swimming in a canal. I guess if you don't know what happened, then maybe it didn't happen.
No cameras. Nothing. They never found my shirt. Nothing. Who knows where it was? I could have been. Maybe I got in a hot tub. Nobody ever talks about that possibility. Maybe I got in a hot tub somewhere and I was just like, well, I got to get out of here and walked home. Maybe I was walking it out. Who knows? Nobody knows.
Who knows? Do you feel like you regret what happened that night?
No. I mean, I'm not smart enough to attempt to do something like that as a publicity stunt. But goddamn, that weekend, my mugshot was shown like 400 times here in Indianapolis, and it changed everything. I couldn't go outside. I couldn't leave my house in Indianapolis without being noticed from that day forward. Like from that day until today, I don't think I've ever made a trip in Indianapolis outside of my house and home without taking at least one picture. And that's a true story. I don't even know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because I didn't want to be popular. I was very cool being an anonymous drunk frat kid at the bar who just had a lot of money. And nobody had a clue who I was. I was very cool with it. But that moment just like thrusted me into little local celebrity here. And I just decided I had to go with it because I didn't have a voice. So like the media was calling me stupid and like the next Vanderjack and this and that. And I became the butt of jokes and nobody interviewed me ever. So I had to start tweeting to explain to people like, hey, I'm not a fucking idiot. I was just having a good time. And then people seemed to enjoy my Twitter. And then it just kind of all spun out of control from there.
well, you leaned into it. You owned it. You didn't try to like run away. Like a lot of guys do, I feel like, where if they do get in trouble, they try to distance themselves. And as you say, oh, I'm a changed man. It'll never happen again.
Yeah, I think anytime you face adversity or a PR thing, you got to attack it head on. You got to claim, stake ownership. I was an idiot. I'm so sorry, because everybody's a human. And I think that's the biggest thing is sometimes people see people on TV or on a football field and they forget that they're humans and they're not perfect. Although they're incredible at a sport or something else, they're humans and they fuck up too. And I think that's the biggest myth whenever it comes to fanhood is that the people that are playing on that field or the people that are in movies, I mean, they got a shit too. Like they take shits too. You know what I mean? Like they're the same people.
There's a kid's book, Pat, called Everybody Poops.
Yeah, I know. I like that a lot. I always reference that whenever my lady acts like she didn't fart in the bed, you know, like I fucking roll over and all of a sudden I can't breathe. And I'm like, hey, a little heads up would have been nice. She's like, what are you talking about? I didn't do that. I'm like, everybody poops. I know you just farted right in my shit right here.
Did she pull the covers over your head?
No, she blames the dog every time. Like
smart lady. Still smart woman.
I don't know. Like, she is tough though. I mean, some of those farts that the dog is sending out are pretty rough. So we need to talk about that.
Oh man, you do. That's you're pretty open about your relationship with her. I know I've recently found out about it, and you got slightly offended because I know you reference her multiple times on your podcast, the Pat McAfee Show.
Oh, thanks for a little plug there. You are really good at that, by the way. You came on my show and had 15 plugs. Do you remember that? He came on my show and had 15 plugs for 15 different shows that he wasn't even on. It was just like other people's shows. He's like, oh, you should definitely go on. Hey, Pat, you know the Joe Rogan podcast, a direct competitor of yours? You should listen to that every once in a while. I'm like, thanks, AJ. Appreciate it.
Well, you're wrong. That's where you're wrong, though. There's no competitors in the podcasting world.
Well, whenever you start getting on them top 10 lists, there is, AJ. So let's think about that.
See, that's why you have flawed. You're letting your ego get in the way, Pat. It's not competition, dude. They can put 5 trillion podcasts out there. The cream will always rise to the top. So if you're good and you keep putting out good stuff, it's not competition. This isn't old school terrestrial radio. There's a huge playing field, and it's on demand. So if people love it, they're going to continue.
People only have so many hours. Joe Rogan's podcasts are 3 hours, and they're incredible. And I used to listen to them. But if somebody's going to listen to a 3-hour podcast, you know what they're not going to do? They're not going to listen to another 90 minutes of old Pat McAfee talking to his friends.
Yes, they will. That's why I have to disagree with you. People always say, well, there's so much content out there. There's so many shows. Well, no, there's not. Like, I got excited today because a couple different shows that I listen to put out new episodes. Therefore, I am excited. I have new stuff. And when I don't have new episodes to listen to, I'm like, dang, what am I supposed to do? Like when I'm in my car today or when I go to bed. So I have to. There can never be too much content.
I agree with that completely. So I'm on your side. But whenever you come onto my show just dropping plugs for everybody on earth, that's an issue, right? I just want to let you know.
I plug other people. I don't like to plug myself. I like to plug my friends and family.
Well, I think you should plug I think you're one of the most impressive humans. We did a show, that Barstool Tailgate show, where there was zero coordination, zero organization, no TVs worked. I don't even think we had earpieces. We were in the middle of a fraternity party. And you just handled it like a gentleman. You're a professional, AJ, and I think you deserve to give yourself more credit.
Oh, thank you. Let's make it really weird by you saying things like that, but it's all right.
Listen, don't be a child, AJ.
I'm not being
don't be
child.
A fucking kid.
Well, you
sound like a kid. Let's make it all. You sound like a child right there.
Well, you have designed holes in your jeans that I can see. Oh, you have lots of them. For the people, most people, Pat, listen to this on iTunes and everything else. Some people watch the YouTube version, and I think this might bring some YouTube viewers. Pat is standing up at the moment, doing high knees to show off his skin tight. I hope they got some stretch material. Holy jeans.
Yeah, listen, the modern day jeans that are all like men yoga pants, I've really loved because I'm the quad father, AJ. That's all I got. I got great legs. And all those jeans from back in the day used to saddle up my penis a little bit too tight. Now these flex boys are awesome. I'm all in. My lady buys me all my clothes, and she found these flex jeans, and I'm like, it's a whole new world now. Whole new world.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah, I'm with you. I agree 100%. It's just hard to wear them as tight as you do. Respect to you, no question, for the tightness.
If they're any looser, they look like Jankos because that's how big my quads are. Like I can't wear loose. It looks like bell bottoms. Does that make sense?
Good point. Yeah, you're just too jacked. Do you still lift?
I
see this shoulder. I see your shoulder capsule right here in the YouTube video. I see you.
I don't know, man. You tell me. Do I still lift?
We're gonna screenshot that and make it the thumbnail pic.
I lift every once in a while. I'm so fucking busy. It's very outrageous how much more busy I am now that I've retired than when I was in the NFL. Because in the NFL, you got a lot of downtime. You're just trying to like pass time basically when you're in the NFL. Like, let's just make it to game day. Because I don't have meetings. I didn't have any meetings, so I didn't have to learn anybody. So I just sat there, played cornhole. I'm a really good cornhole player. But like that's now I have so much shit going on. I don't get a chance to really get in there and work out as much as I'd like. I want to get fit. Like I've never been fit in my life. I've always had like a solid kegger in my stomach. My legs were always great, but small bird chest. I'd have big biceps because I just work out hard on those, and then you wear a tank top so it covers up everything else. But it's just like I want to get fit, like actually AJ Hawk fit. You know what I mean?
Why don't you try working out?
Jesus.
Okay, so I'm sitting here watching you. I'm sorry for the audio, just the audio listeners, but there's a lot of visual stuff happening today. Pat's drinking his like Christmas blend from Starbucks or whatever.
Christmas.
What do you drink? What is that?
2017.
Pumpkin spice?
Not specify holidays.
What is Christmas called now?
It's the holiday season.
Okay.
Jesus.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you. It's nice to be on with a politically correct person like yourself.
No, this is the Halloween cups because it's fall harvest.
Do you put a bunch of garbage in your coffee? Or do you drink it like a man?
Splenda. I put Splenda in there.
That's all right. No, you can put whatever you want.
Do you just drink your coffee black?
Yeah, I don't like it. I've never had any other way, but I'm not trying to act like I'm Tommy Tough Guy, but that's just how I like coffee.
You did kind of actually.
I did, but I was trying to tear you down a bit and build myself up, I guess.
Wow. You were getting real deep right there. Is this kind of what AJ Hawk does with a lot of his life right there?
No, but I'm a man, so I can own my mistakes. It was a mistake.
Listen, don't gender assign.
I'm sorry. Are you gender fluid?
My friend became a vegan, and I questioned if he still had his ball sack or not. And the local paper called me a sexist because I gender assigned a diet.
Wait, the local paper, did you say this on your podcast or on Twitter?
Yeah, I said it on my podcast. Yeah, and the local paper wrote about it.
Oh, my gosh. So did you go on and talk to him?
No, I just laughed at the lady that said it, and then a bunch of my followers went on to attack that lady, and it became an awkward situation. So I had to apologize in the end. I had to apologize.
You did. What? So going back to your schedule. Well, first off, before I get to that, I'm sorry. Yeah, you keep bouncing this right leg, and you're itching like you're like a meth head, and like just hunker in, man. We're gonna be here for a little bit.
I'm a mover, man. I'm a mover and a shaker.
You're not engaged. I need you to get in the pocket. Stay in the pocket, Pat.
I'm engaged right now. I got happy feet a little bit, but that's kind of how I live my life, is just up and at 'em. I'm here 100%. I mean, Stone Cold's right over my left shoulder here. I mean, we are ready to go. Mike Tyson right here, punch out. You see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, autographed. No big deal. Right there. And I'm just here, man, just ready to do this. I'm excited that you are guiding the conversation here. I'm excited to see where we go.
So the question, though, for you, I think a lot of people struggle with this. With everything you have going on, you have a crazy schedule. You have a million people trying to get at you. Do you have a problem being present where you are? Be where your feet are, as you told me.
That's Chuck Pagano's quote. I did tell you that. Be where your feet are. No, that's how I live, though. Like, I forgot about this conversation until about 4 minutes before we had it when you texted me. So, like, I 100% just live right now. I enjoy this as much as I possibly can, and then I see what's next. That's honestly how I live. And I've never – it sucks now that I have other people I got to deal with because, like, a schedule helps everybody out. But I've never been good at it. I've just let me enjoy the fuck out of right now. Let me do this moment right now, and then whatever's next, I'll do that next. And that's really what I do, and it works out perfectly in this particular profession.
I think that works in anyone's life. If everyone could do that, it'd be great. Do you have issues like that with your girl? I know my wife and we talk about this. I think girls have because like this motherly instinct. It's like they have this worry about the future. My wife she'll do that, have anxiety about what could happen. Oh, the baby didn't go down tonight as good as he should. He's probably going to be up at 3 a.m. I'm like, hey, no.
Congrats on sex, by the way.
Thank you very much. 4 kids, Pat. You have 0, so I don't know what that means.
Wow, 4 times. And a marriage. You had to consummate that. That's 5 times at least of intercourse. I'm happy for you. Anyways, what you say?
No, 5 times, 11 years. Good numbers.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Priests don't get to do that.
I mean, I guess they could.
Well, I guess some have. I mean, there's a couple movies about them.
Allegedly.
But my lady does enjoy scheduling stuff and like putting things in my ear, and she has a calendar for me and all that stuff. And she does everything she basically runs my life. That's why I talk about her so much, because we aren't married. We damn well should be. We're both 30. We're old heads now. We live together. She's a lot more of a planner than I, but she also is a pretty happy-go-lucky, enjoy the moment person as well. So it's a pretty good match for me. And I have no kids because I am an incredible like pull out guy. Like I'm really good at it. My timing is impeccable. And it's like always, every time my lady and I fornicate, like, you know, when most guys are like, this is the best part of it. Like when it's about to happen, I'm like, man, no way am I signing up for no more naps for the rest of my life. And I'm out. Boom. See you later. I'm gone. So I've been able to do that. But my lady and I will settle down and probably procreate at some point here in the next couple of years.
No more naps. Is that what you envision as a father? No more naps?
Yeah.
There's no way you take naps now though with your schedule.
You're right. But this has been ingrained in me so hard for I'm a napper. Like I am naturally by trade a napper. Right now my schedule does not allow me to nap. So I understand the people that have mocked nappers because they probably have a schedule where they can't nap. But I envision a day where I can go back to napping. And with those goddamn kids, I don't think you can do it.
Well, what you could do with that great setup you have there, we'll get into the Barstool Heartland offices that you run. You're the CEO, basically.
COO, thanks.
Who's the CEO?
Well, Dave Portnoy and Erica Nardini are there. We're an affiliate of Barstool, so I'm just the chief operating officer out here.
Gotcha. No big deal. So what a lot of powerful guys do. I know Joe Paterno, RIP, when he was still alive, he would take like a 90-minute nap in the middle of every day, and his secretary knew, like, do not knock on this door between 11 and 12:30 because he's napping.
I'm surprised Joe could even sleep.
Why?
Joe knew.
Who's laughing in the background? Get him on mic.
That's some of the squad back there. That's some of the squad.
What do you mean?
There.
What did he know?
What are you talking about? Do you live under a fucking rock? Like
I got kids and stuff. What are you talking about?
I'll let you just figure that out after this show. I don't need to dig into that.
Okay.
It was a rhythmic manner, though.
Yeah, there's been a lot. There's some. I mean, yeah, we didn't really need that, to tell you the truth.
You looked confused. You got a brand new camera. It's 4K. I could see the question marks all over your goddamn face.
It's because I'm wondering what these loose tank tops are about. Like, do you ever wear like a wife beater, like a tight one?
No, because I got a small chest and a big gut. I told you this earlier. All you got to do is good arms and get a couple shrugs in, and then you just wear a tank top forever. You don't have to worry about your diet or anything. You're good to go.
Oh, so are those good arms?
Are you looking at the same fucking thing I am? I mean, do I not have a good enough camera? Is that microphone on back there? Do we need a better camera? Is there a blur or something? Is this fucking 620?
It's a pretty good camera. It's high def.
Thank you.
See that? I just had to ask a question, man.
It seemed like a shot, though. You know, seemed a little bit like a shot.
Well, no, it's hard that's why I'm trying to see how I want to make this the longest episode ever, because you're going to literally, your head's going to explode from trying to hold that swolled up pose for 3 hours.
I am not flexing. I'm currently not flexing.
You haven't. Yeah. Now you look good. There you go. Stay right there. Stay right just like that the rest of the show.
I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Problem is
I don't know if I'm going to make
your
it.
camera went blurry because you're so jacked.
I know. It's like Bigfoot sighting all of a sudden. It's like a fucking Bigfoot sighting. You know, Mitch Hedberg said Bigfoot's blurry, and I think he's spot on. That's what's happening right now.
Hey, what happened did you have a little public issue with the comedian Jim Norton? I listened to the Jim and Sam show.
Oh, my God. Yeah, he went after me on his show.
Not really. No, not really. I listened to the show on demand a lot of days. He didn't really go after you. He said there's like some scheduling conflict.
Oh, good. I'm happy he did that, because people started tweeting me, his little Nortoners. They started tweeting me, like coming after me, talking about how I disrespected him. And I'm a Jim Norton fan, so like I didn't want that to be out there. When I first started this Barstool Heartland venture, we didn't even have a studio. We didn't have an office. We were doing shows from my basement and from a rented studio and shit like that. And our first podcast, we had a shit ton of downloads. So we just got launched into and we didn't have the means. Like we shouldn't have been doing that. So we were doing 2 podcasts, 3 podcasts a week, and we didn't even have a studio or the ability to get in. We started getting messages from people like, hey, do you want this guy on your show or this girl on your show? Like they want to come on your show, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So we started just saying yes to everybody. And then we stopped getting access to a studio. And we're like 2-3 months away from having our own studio. And it just became like a big clusterfuck. We're like, well, we can't. We thought we could get him in another day, and then that studio was being used by somebody else. So we had to say, yeah, man, sorry. And he took it as me canceling on him, when really it was 100% just like a fuck. We can't do this. Like we have literally, unless we want cell phone to cell phone, like butt to butt there. I think that's really the only way we could have done it. You know.
If you know Jim, he may not have hated that.
Oh, is that the case?
Well, no, Jim talks like that's like his ongoing deal. His I think his first special was called Monster Rain, how he and his little friends used to pull on each other's wieners.
Really?
Something like that. Yeah, he jokes about it all the time, how like with what is it? Is it transsexuals? Is that the proper name now?
Really? I didn't know that. I did not know that about Jim Norton.
Yeah.
You know Todd Chrisley?
Chrisley, the guy on TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my favorite human on earth, just for future reference.
Why is that?
You just got to watch the Chrisley's show.
I've seen it, but the question did you segue to Todd Chrisley because I started talking about transsexuals?
Yeah. I don't think I know what transsexuals are.
I don't either. What is that the proper term? Okay, so what is if you transition from male to female to male? What is that?
You're a woman. You're a man.
Okay. No. Okay, this is just getting stupid now.
Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner, woman.
Now, yes, Caitlyn Jenner is a woman now, correct?
Yeah. She was transitioning, though, for a little bit.
So what are you in the transition period? What do you consider it?
Transitioning.
All right, this is dumb.
That's the rule. That's what it is.
That's the rule?
You need to watch more reality shows. That's what it is. You're transitioning at that time.
I mean, this is just...
You know what it takes to become a female, by the way, if you're a man?
You can't. It's tough, man.
That's why they're transitioning, because it really is just like figuring out whether or not you really want to do it, because they fillet the dick.
Yeah.
Next question.
No, that's all right. It's a lot easier to go from male to female than female to male, though.
Really? What do they got to do?
They haven't been able to make a replica penises yet. Like they're not.
You know what?
How do you do that?
I heard a story about a guy who was on, what was it, PCP or something. He cut off his dick, and then he put his finger in there.
And
you ever hear that?
What happened then?
Guy used the finger as a dick.
Oh, he like implanted a finger.
Yeah, the doctors did. He didn't do it, but the doctors cut off a finger and made his finger his dick. Science is wild.
That can't be. Well, John, do you remember John Bobbitt? His wife cut his meat off and threw it out the window.
Yeah, I do remember that.
They sewed it back on, and supposedly John Bobbitt did some like softcore porn or something after that.
With the sewed on dick?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How about that? Like a fucking Transformer porn right there.
Yeah.
Got a brand new dick.
Think about it. If for whatever reason, as you get older, like your platform starts to slip a little bit and you start falling out of the public eye, just cut that meat off. Right. Cut that meat off and throw it out the window and then sew it back on.
That's a commitment. I mean, I'm willing to do that though. For my family, to keep food on the table. I'm willing to do that. Just like you would be, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The way you're a dad. You're a good dad, I think.
I'll do whatever I can for my kids.
Are you a good dad?
I sure hope so, man.
Like if I was to ask your kids individually without you around, and I said, tell me how you feel about your father, they would all say, love him.
Of course, but the kids are like minute to minute how they feel about their parents. So you could also hear them say, oh, no, Dad doesn't.
These are excuses.
Dad doesn't let me stay up till midnight and eat ice cream in bed.
Do they have phones? Do you ever kids let them have phones?
No, my oldest is 6.5 now.
But isn't that kind of what parents do now? They just hand over an iPad and then they play a game for like 7 hours?
They would if they could. My kids had an Amazon Kindle Fire thing. It's like a cheap iPad that's not very good. And we would let them watch it like on long car rides or whatever. And my wife revoked them. My two oldest had those that we let them use sometimes. She revoked them 6 months ago. And we don't see them letting them back anytime soon because they kind of get dialed in, man. They would like be eating breakfast and just watching Dora or whatever they like to watch, videos like YouTube videos of Hulk Hogan. My son likes to watch, and they would be locked in. You say their name, and they won't even look up.
Chuck Pagano, one night before a game, was given like the night before speech, to us, and he goes into the "Be Where Your Feet Are" thing, and he's like, "When you're a parent, when you're a dad, when you're a mothers and fathers, whenever you have kids, don't give them the iPad. That's easy. Anybody can do that. Anybody can just hand over the iPad, give them 14 games, not talk to them for 2 hours, put them to sleep at night, have them wake up the next day, feed them a little breakfast, give them the iPad again. Then you don't have to be a father. Then you don't have to be mothers. You don't have to be fathers. Don't do that. Be where your feet are. Come on." And then he said, "Tomorrow we just need to be where our feet are." And I was like, I don't have kids, so I have no fucking idea what that means. But it sounds like a lot of parents are cheating. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like a lot of parents are utilizing Steve Jobs' vision and just cheating as parents. And I think Dr. Phil should get mad about it.
I'm sure that's what I thought. I'm sure Dr. Phil is mad if the price is right for him. But
you don't like Dr. Phil?
No, Dr. Phil's fine. He's okay. Like, he's a great businessman. That's what he is.
What about Jake Paul? You know Jake Paul?
Yeah, I had he and his brother on here years ago.
I'm a big Jake Paul.
I had Logan. So I had Logan Paul on his brother, his older brother.
Yeah, they're beefing right now. I don't even want to talk about it.
Okay, I didn't know about the beef, but yeah. So I had Logan, and then the last 15 minutes of the episode, Jake jumped in, and Jake had just signed to do that show Bizarrevark on Nickelodeon, and then he got booted off it, as we know. And you guys have a thing going, or you guys love Jake, and I know he's one of the guys you can't mess with. I've listened to you.
Yeah, Howard Stern, Jake Paul. Don't cross either of them.
So is Jake?
Do you have Jake Paul's contact?
I have probably.
Gonna need that.
Why don't you just reach out to him?
125 million views on his video. I am literally shrimp in the ocean of Jake Paul.
They're both they're Ohio kids, man.
Just small town kid.
Yeah,
he says that in his rap song.
You know Ohio U, the Bobcats?
Yeah. Talked about you going to their Halloween party dressed as a Top Gun guy.
Yeah, on your podcast. That's a great memory you have. I'm shocked with all the headshots you took.
The only headshots I've been taking are from bongs, bro.
Did you ever get concussed?
I think so.
Like on the football field, though.
Yeah, I think so. I think there was one time in college and then probably one time in the pros. I got blindsided 2 times. That's the only way I know. The one in college, the holder dropped the snap and then he tried to roam, and I saw this DN trying to chase him down from the backside, and I was going to go and blindside him because I was a pretty big guy. I'm like 240, Mm-hmm. I was going to try to blindside him, and at the last second he saw me, and I was diving, and he just planted his face mask right in the side of my helmet, and I did the whole spin thing down. It was not good. It was him running full speed. I thought I was going to be able to blindside him, like chip him and get a hold of him. And at the last second, he saw me and he just headbutted me basically. And I went in this flying in a little circle down to the ground, headache, the whole thing. I was like, well, here it is. This is what it's like to be an actual football player. This is the moment. And this is why I should stop doing this. And then in the NFL, the same type of thing happened, but it was on a long punt return. I was sprinting and a guy got me with a helmet.
That sucks. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the head trauma situation, CTE going on now? Like, where do you stand?
So Pat Anger was a locker mate next to me.
He's I don't know Pat personally, but he's awesome.
You and him are very similar. You two would be big fans of each other. I think you should get him on here on your show.
I'd love to. I'm gonna need his info.
He's hysterical. Funny guy, Iowa kid, great middle linebacker, actually. Led the league in tackling there for a couple years. Mm-hmm. But then he got injured a bunch of times, and his concussions are a real thing. He got ruled out of a game for a concussion on a Friday after practicing all week, right? Yeah, so listen, he told me this, and I don't know, you're going to have to get the exact quote from him. But basically he said, like, on Wednesday, I normally don't remember turning off my alarm or something like that. On Thursday, same thing. But by Friday, normally everything starts coming back together for me, and then I'm, like, good to go, right? And he said there was a Friday he woke up, and he, like, didn't remember doing stuff, like, from the concussion or whatever, and it scared him. So he told the athletic trainer, he was like, hey, I think I got a concussion last week. And they're like, you practiced for the last 2 days. He was like, yeah, but normally by Friday I'm kind of back in it. He said, now I don't have a clue. So he would withhold information from everybody. So he would just he had his own self-diagnosis. And they were like, that should not be happening, by the way. Like, you should not be happening like that. How many times has this happened? And he was like, he mentioned like almost every game of his career. He talked about it. And he got these, as soon as he retired, I always talked about like, man, you got to take care of yourself, dude. Because I watched that concussion movie and it's scary. He got these pills that are like supposed to do stuff with your brain. And it was him really that opened my eyes and scared the fuck out of me about concussions. Because I think guys like you, linebackers, D linemen, running backs, offensive linemen, like the physical contact you're fighting each other on a day-to-day basis. And if your head just gets jarred a couple times, that with new studies, they're showing that your head's getting fucked up. So I think it's a very scary situation, but I don't think you can change football. Like, it's one of those things. It's going to have to be just like an inherent risk almost with it, but it's going to know that's going to be a scary future potentially.
Yeah, don't you think it's kind of no matter how many guys you have on the sidelines, independent doctors,
they don't fucking matter.
They don't know anything. That's the deal. It's no matter what, it's up to the player personally to
tell the truth.
Yeah,
tell the truth.
Which you can't tell the truth though, because people lose their jobs.
Yeah, because if you tell the truth and you're down for 2 weeks, there's another younger guy who's cheaper than you probably that's on the field. It's just the nature of the business side of it that is very much interfering with the safety physical side of it, and I don't think it's ever going to get fixed. And they're still doing the same goddamn concussion tests on the sideline. Like, hey, where are we? What day is it? Like, do you need 45 more doctors to do that goddamn test? I'm just not sure.
I'm not sure. What bugs me is that they have these guys like up in the box, down on the field, that are these like independent people. But when I watch a game, let me know if you're the same. I can see someone get hit, even if it's not a big blow-up shot, and I know, like, oh, man, watch out, that dude's dinged. Like, that's a nasty shot.
There was a national TV game the other night where the guy went down, fumbled the ball. He got hit, fumbled the ball, they ruled him down, and then he got up, stumbled a little bit, and he was back in the next play. And I'm like, all of these motherfuckers that are supposed to be diagnosing that stuff, they can't see that. It was on slow motion, and I think it was the Monday Night Football game. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which team it was, but it happens. Like, you see it on national TV. You see a guy get hit. You see him lock up. Not flexing, by the way. Not flexing.
Nope.
You see a guy lock up, and then you see him go down, and then you see the ball go loose, and you see him wake up, and then he goes back up, and they're like, yep, back in the game. Like, that's not a stinger, bro. That's that is a concussion. That is what you just saw there was a guy not present for a particular time period. And it's just the way the game is, though. Like, I don't think any helmet's going to change that. I don't think any rules are going to change that. I think when you got people running that fast with that predictability, guys know the game so much more now. I just think that it's inevitable. I think it's going to happen.
Well, the helmet is why you get so many concussions. If you want to limit concussions, take the helmet off.
Oh, you used your helmet as a weapon, AJ? Is that what you just said?
100%, because I didn't have 9-foot-long arms when these O-linemen would come out at me. You have to strike them with the top of my head, bam, try to stun them and chop their arms, get by.
So you used your helmet as a weapon?
Allegedly.
No, you clearly just said that you did it.
Yeah, you have to. What is it there for?
For protection, AJ.
Protection from that guy using his helmet as a weapon on me.
How many concussions did you have?
0. Dead serious. I'm dead serious. 33 years old, 0 concussions. I think some people are just lucky. I didn't wear a mouthpiece. I think that's garbage. That science doesn't work either.
I agree. That's all just a mouthpiece business, fucking spinning like Fish Fridays with the Catholics. Anyways, they're just spinning. That fish company spun that into that back in the day. But I think, how though? How were you using your helmet as a weapon? Do you think you have a thicker skull than people?
I don't know. I've asked doctors about this. Like, I don't know if it's like just have like some people I think are born with, it's like everything 99% of your body, of everything you do is genetic. Athletic ability, it's genetic. You're born with it. And I think some people have like how your jaw structure, your head, your nose, everything is just able.
We get it. You're attractive. Jesus Christ. You're just going to go, your jaw structure, your nose, these eyes, look at this fucking forehead, this hair. We get it, AJ. God, I think it's just how you're built. Yeah, fuck you. We get it, AJ. You're perfect. You got a thick cranium, so you don't get fucking concussions. What else? That's
got to be it. That's what I'm guessing. Like, I think that I have friends, family guys that have been blasted, don't remember playing the fourth quarter of a game, puking in the stall, spend the night in the hospital. I've never had anything near that, but I know what those shots like that ding people, I definitely know how that is, and I can know. I feel like I have a knack for seeing it when I see someone take a shot that may not, like, that's the dumb thing. People think, oh, these huge blindside blocks or these shots are what get people knocked out. Those aren't the problems.
Yeah, the reason why I got knocked out is because the guy turned head to head to me and fucking bang got me. I was hoping to blindside him and deliver a little concussion to that guy. Complete opposite, head to head. Boom, I'm done. See you later.
That feels so good when you can get a good shot on a kicker or a punter, though. It really does.
Yeah, you know what else feels good?
Mm-hmm.
When you're a kicker or punter and fucking lay a dude out. That's a good time.
How many of those did you have?
In college, I had like 3 to 4, but it was before Twitter or social media. My first couple of years in the league, I had a couple good ones too. It was before Twitter and social media, and then everybody remembers the Trindon Holiday one. But there was a couple in college where I would start getting blocked by people.
Hey, no, they don't. No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. Most watched Sunday Night Football game in history. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Biggest hit. See you later. Olympic speed, you said? No big deal. Blind squirrel finds a nut. Fucking see ya, cuz. Right on your sideline in front of your people.
All right.
How's it going?
All right, cuz. But
you nailed it. You did that this morning. You texted me cuz this morning. So I'm a cuz user.
I'm trying.
I use the word cuz. Some people use buddy, pal, all of that shit. I use the word cuz. And AJ, for our entire friendship here, which is short, it is a short friendship, has been mocking me for it. And this morning he texted me, sounds good, comma, cuz. Nailed it.
Nailed it. Yeah, I'm telling you. All great things start out as a joke, and they turn real.
I got a guy, I pancaked a guy, though, that was trying to block me. That felt good.
That would, but
college.
Did you ever worry, though, when yourself as the punter, you go out there and you try to blast people, and obviously you being the personality, you're giving like the suck it and doing all kind of crazy celebrations?
No, I never did a suck it.
Well, whatever.
I was
you're shooting guns, you're hitting a 9-iron, you're doing all these stupid things that football players.
Some of them were 7-iron, though, a lot longer than the others. It wasn't just chip shot. It was a good drive.
No big deal. So, are you ever worried, though, after that you become a target for the other team?
I honestly believe that I thought people were genuinely entertained by it. Like other teams were genuinely entertained. Like other teams, special teams coaches and players would come up to me before the game and talk to me about something I've done in weeks before that. So I always just had a comfort that they liked me. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, I'd get blasted sometimes. So it was like a very interesting thing. I'm like, hey, these guys like me. They won't kill me. And then sometimes out of nowhere, bang, guy tried to break my fucking leg. So I never had a fear, though, that I was going to give. I always thought I could defend myself. I mean, I'm a big fucking guy. A lot of people think I'm not because I could hang. I'm bigger than you right now, AJ. I am bigger than you.
You weigh more than me, yeah.
And I'm larger than you. I'm more barrelly than you right now. I am a pretty big man.
What?
My dad has good bone structure.
Barrelly?
Yeah, I'm barrelly.
Like barrel chest?
Yeah, all the way through. My chest all the way to my knees are the same exact size. So it's kind of an awkward situation, but I got good buoyancy in the river.
Yeah, that's needed too, especially when you don't know you're in the river.
Allegedly. It was a canal. Thank you.
Those weird canals are like, what is that in Indy? I don't get it. They're just outside the bars?
It's a small river that runs downtown. It's not big enough to be called a river, though, so they call it a canal.
How did the owner, Jeff Irsay, react? Jeff. Sorry, Jim.
I never talked to Jim Irsay before that moment. I don't even know if he knew who I was or that I was on the team. And then the next week after that, when I got back from suspension, he came to practice and he walks right over to me and Vinatieri, puts his arm around my shoulder, and he goes, "Brother, what's up, man? Welcome back." And I say, "Thank you, Jim. You know, I appreciate that. I'm so sorry." I said, "Don't worry about it. You're going to be a better person because of it. You never want to be the last person holding the keg, though. Remember that." And then he walked away. That was my first conversation with him. And I started dying laughing. Vinatieri started dying laughing. And we became like friends at that moment. So every time he came to practice after that, he would come talk to me because we were on the sidelines watching practice. So he would come talk to me before every single, like anytime he came. It wasn't every day. He didn't come to practice every day. He would come like once every couple of weeks. He would come talk to me. We became friends after that.
Why do you think he could relate to you a little bit or what?
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah. I mean, Jim's been through some shit. I mean, that guy has lived a life. He was friends with like Ringo Starr and fucking Prince. I mean, back in the day, he's written songs with John Mellencamp. I mean, that guy has lived a life. He's been a billionaire for a long time, owned a team in his 30s. You're talking about a rock star life this guy's lived.
How did he make his money?
His dad. His dad had the Colts. They had a heating and air conditioning company, I guess. I think that did everything in Chicago. I think their heating and air conditioning company did everything in Chicago. Then the Baltimore Colts came around, and then Jim got it.
So how did your relationship with Irsay play out when you were not scared to criticize the GM, Grigson, when he was there?
That's why I was able to do it, though. I was the only person that was able to talk because, A, I was really good at my job, so they couldn't cut me because of my performance, and B, the owner liked me. So everybody else in that building did not like me. The business side of people, the GM at the time, Grigson, all his scouts, they didn't like me because I was putting them on fucking blast. Like, hey, this shit's bad. Like, we're doing some bad moves, right? This is an amateur thing. Because I was very lucky. I was on the tail end of the winningest decade in NFL history with Polian. I got the chance to experience the last 2 years. Peyton, Polian, I got to see that entire team operate on a daily basis, how they handled themselves in practice, meetings, locker room, post-game, everything. I got a chance to really watch. I'm a pretty observant person. And then this new GM comes in and just flips everything on its head and is doing things completely wrong. And it's like, man, this shit's bad. But nobody could talk. Nobody could talk because in the NFL, the GM is your daddy. He gets to decide whether you have a job or not. I mean, if you get in with a GM and he moves around, you can have a job for your whole career. It's just the way it goes. But for me, I was just like, fuck this guy. And he fined me a couple of times for a couple of bullshit things that I didn't enjoy. So now he had stole from me. So I'm like, I have an actual vendetta with this guy. So I let it be known. And all my teammates very much appreciated me for it.
Why would Irsay hire a guy like that?
I don't know. I have no idea. But that's why he didn't get fired for a long time, I think, because Jim Irsay has done an incredible job throughout his career of hiring people around him who are talented. Very talented people come around him, right? I mean, hiring Bill Polian and letting him run is a good idea. Got him out of he went from Buffalo to Carolina to the Colts. Like, that's a good hire. So I think Jim was very confident in his feeling towards Grigson. When he hired Grigson, he was the first interview. Ryan Grigson was the first interview when he went through his GM search, by the way. It was such a good conversation. It was like first impression. He just locked onto it. And then I think a lot of people might have been telling him like on the low because they didn't want to disrespect him either. They didn't want to be like, hey, Jim, you fucked up here. So a lot of people were like telling him in different manners that Grigson was bad. And I think it took a while for him to realize that he made a mistake. But he owned up to it and got a new guy in there, Chris Ballard, who I think is going to do a good job.
What did Grigson do that was so bad in your opinion?
You name it. Just you name it. Like the first day he was in there, the first day he got in there, they painted over all of like we had a wall in our facility that has like all the Colts like history, right? Like Peyton Manning's on there, Unitas is on there. Like basically it's like a wall of tradition almost. His first move, paint over it, right? Take down all the pictures of all the old stuff that had happened. It was the Indianapolis Grigsons when he got there. Everything changed, right? Painted over everything, just literally, it was just everything you could think of he did. That was, like, if he would have won, everybody would call him a genius, right? But he was doing all these things, and we were not successful, and it just became like a joke almost, and that's exactly what it was.
Did he ever address the team, like in a team meeting, and say why he was changing things?
No. Every time he addressed the team, he would hold these, he had, like, note cards that he would read from. And he wouldn't just glance at them. He would actually like move the note card. He was reading a speech off of a note card, but he would do it in like a flexing manner almost. So he would move the front card to the back card and he would like punch his fists. So it was like a super intense, he's sweating, screaming at us conversation. It was outrageous. He was like, we're going to change the culture here. This is a team that we don't want to. And it was just like, what are you doing, bro? Change the culture. We just got out of the winningest decade in history. We just put Curtis Painter in because Peyton Manning got 45 different necks in one season. Like, what culture are you changing, dude? Like, what are you? And he just completely disrespected everything. That was everything. Peyton Manning came in and visited the equipment managers when we played at Denver after Peyton retired. And Peyton's best friends with the equipment. You get real tight with the equipment managers. I don't think people know that.
Oh, yeah.
Equipment managers, athletic trainers, you're around them all goddamn day. And Peyton literally spent a lot of his life with equipment managers. I mean, throwing and stuff. So he was in Denver getting honored by Denver. We retired. He came in the back door of the equipment room to say what's up to the guys. Like, hey, guys, I'm in Denver or whatever. Then we go in to lose that game. Grigson got mad. He said it was because Peyton came in to see the equipment managers is why we lost. Like, that's the type of guy he is. Like, I want people to understand, like, that is the type of ship he was running. It was like that.
So Peyton wasn't on the Broncos at the time?
No.
He was out of the league. He retired.
He was getting honored by the Broncos. Comes in like the back door. Players don't even see him. Like, we didn't even see him. Just only met with equipment managers. And Grigson goes, well, that's why we lost. Because, if A equals B. Wow. That's what he fucking said.
Was Grigson there for the transition from Peyton to be?
Yeah, he's the one who cut Peyton. Yeah. Grigson started off with a strong move. Let's cut Peyton Manning.
What could he have done different? Like, I know Peyton, he had neck surgeries, as you said.
So it was during the lockout too. So they couldn't watch Peyton throw. So there was like a $20-some million guarantee happening if he was on the team at a certain spot, a certain date, but they couldn't see him. They couldn't watch him throw. So they had no idea how he was throwing. So they didn't know if his neck was going to come back. There was a lot of doubts that he couldn't throw. So they made the decision, plus Luck is sitting there. So they made the decision to let him go. We'll rebuild with Luck. We don't think Peyton can throw next season. We don't think he's got shit. And then Peyton goes on to break the fucking passing record and win a Super Bowl, back-to-back Super Bowl appearances. That's got to feel good for Peyton Manning. But that was the first situation right there.
Okay. How was Peyton as a teammate?
Cool dude, man. You would like him a lot.
Did you interact with him much?
Yeah, he enjoyed me a lot. He flew me around to a couple different places because I was the entertainment of the group.
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean?
Like, I went to, like, he would have, when I was a rookie, I got a text that was like, meet us at this private jet airport at 8 a.m. tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, you got it, bud. I don't know. And we just flew to, like, University of Tennessee to watch their game. And I was just, like, sitting there in the suite with Pat Summitt, Bruce Pearl, Peyton Manning, the governor of Tennessee, myself, and I'm just hammering beers, having a great time telling stories to people. And then it was just like I became like the dancing monkey. We were friends. Peyton and I had a good relationship. Drank a lot of beers together. Really enjoyed that. He's a good guy. Working with him would have been tough. Like if I'm a wide receiver or something, because he's the offensive coordinator. He's the coach. So you got to deal. You don't know what you're getting. But for me, I didn't have to work with him, so I was completely fucking cool. I was like, yeah, whatever.
Why is that?
There was a couple of times I had one rough game, like real rough game when I was young. I didn't really know how to punt yet, and that was really the only time Peyton came over and said, "You're fucking killing us," like right to my face, and I'm like, "Listen, man, if you get first down, I don't got to punt anyways." That's what
you should have said that.
No, what I said was, you're fucking right. Like I wanted to kill myself already before that, and then he told me that, and I was like, yeah, I should kill myself now. I should think about not doing this ever again.
Why do you think it's just that he has such high standards for people? Is that why it's tough to be a receiver?
Yes, he demands. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers was like. I think Tom Brady is the same way, and Belichick are the same way. Like if you're, this is just me noticing the difference between Manning and Luck. Luck is young, right? So I didn't really get a chance to see him at 13 years in or 14 years in, like I saw Peyton, where he was very comfortable and has made a lot of decisions. But like Luck wasn't as demanding on like wide receivers or O linemen or running back for greatness. Like he wasn't demanding them to get their shit together. And Peyton did. Peyton, that commercial on Saturday Night Live, that was fucking practice every day. Like everybody's like, that's hilarious. I'm like, yeah, that was every day, but with adults. Like Austin Collie, I saw him kick Austin Collie off the field, like during a game, just pointed to the sideline, get off. Because he tried to catch a ball one-handed instead of two-handed. Just kicked him off the field. See you later.
Wow. So did those, when someone's that demanding, when he, like, say they catch a touchdown pass and Peyton comes over and says, hey, good job, kid, that probably has to make their life. Yeah.
So, like, Peyton's a guy. This is the reason why I like Bruce Arians so much. You felt like Bruce Arians wanted to win the game just as bad as you did. Like he wanted to compete against their defensive coordinator. He wanted to beat their defensive coordinator. You felt like he was like, that's how Peyton is. Like you just feel like his competitiveness, like he wants to beat them so you're like with him, if that makes sense. Like Bruce Arians was not scared game days. He was not timid. Like he just wanted to go fucking mentally joust with that defensive coordinator and beat the shit out of him and talk shit about it. And that's like Peyton never talked shit, but you could tell like he wanted to go out, and if everybody did their job, he would pick apart the other team. That was like the main goal.
Yeah, what's he gonna do now? Like, why? I'm shocked to see that he hasn't like taken a gig. Well, does he want to own a team or be a GM?
I've always heard that they wanted to own it. The Mannings want to own a team. Never from a Manning, just from people around the Mannings. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. Everybody,
conversation around the Mannings always says that they want to own a team. But I think if you see Peyton acting right now, he's really selling out for these roles, right? Like he's all in whenever he's
acting.
Yeah, the fucking commercial with Brad Paisley?
Yeah.
You know, I think he's good at it, but you can tell he's also taking it serious because he's really committed to it. I would not be surprised if you see him in a movie or something like that. I have not talked to him in years, but he seems to be really going after the entertainment stuff. But I would assume at some point he's going to get into football heavily.
Well, yeah. Did he host the ESPYs?
Yeah, he hosts the ESPYs. He's been on Saturday Night Live. There's a couple clips from Saturday Night Live that didn't air that he has at his house that I've watched that he loves. Like that's one of his favorite things is the clips that didn't air. I think he's going to get entertainment because he's a fucking hilarious person and can deliver. He can deliver.
That's why I think people are so interested in him because on the field he's just the general seems so dead serious. But when you talk to people, they say how funny he is, and I point to that SNL sketch when he's throwing the footballs off the kids, like. He is absolutely all in 100%, like no insecurities. Like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to be the best quarterback that's ever hosted.
Yeah, that's what he is, though. And when he's on the field, he's just so competitive. I think you see the competitiveness when he's on the field. That's why I think whenever people retire, it's nice to just put down that fucking competitive wall. Like, hey, like, I don't have to fucking, like, it's nice. For me, it was very nice to do that. And it was nice to not think about kicking footballs literally every single day of my life at some point. Like, is this going to fuck up me kicking footballs? It was really nice just to be able to just relax. And now if I get competitive, it's just when I'm beating the fuck out of people at cornhole. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Come to Ohio. You'll get what you need.
Do you want to play left-handed or right-handed against people?
I'm dead. Like, I don't want to get mad at you, but like, please play against, if my brother Ryan, one of my brothers is my partner, it's going to be pure domination. We might skunk you.
Okay, that is not going to happen. And I go one-on-one. I don't like putting the blame.
First off, that's not cornhole if you're playing one-on-one.
You don't watch any actual cornhole then. That is what cornhole is. One-on-one is cornhole. A partner is just a way to say, oh, if he would have scored more. That's all that is.
I never sell out a teammate.
Well, you'll lose then.
Good point. I mean, you can play one-on-one. It's not nearly as fun.
What?
I would play you one-on-one, and I would – just because I want to dominate you in the game, but I'd rather have us each pick a partner. Then some point after I beat you 12 to 15 times, maybe we'll team up and you'll be on my team.
Are you a lefty or a righty?
Whatever you want, Pat. I can make it rain.
You're out of control. I don't think you fully comprehend what goes on whenever I stand next to a board holding a bag. People have never felt more helpless than when standing next to me at boards. Never in their life. That's been an actual quote. There's just nothing I can do, is what they say. That's what you would be saying. There's just nothing I can do. For 4 hours a day, for 3 years, in the Indianapolis Colts locker room, whenever linebackers were meeting or offensive linemen were meeting, I was throwing cornhole 3 hours straight for a few years straight, playing in games worth thousands of dollars in there against people. And I want to say, that if you can perfect a punting craft or a kicking craft, I assume if you work for 3 hours a day for a few years, you can perfect a goddamn cornhole throw.
I mean, you definitely have logged more hours than me. When I played in the NFL, I was there for 12 hours a day, but I was actually busy that whole time.
Yeah, I think you and I use our time differently for our careers.
So you still play? Do you have cornhole boards at the Heartland?
Yeah, right there. Yeah,
okay.
We still play.
Okay. All right.
Why don't you come by? It's only a couple-hour drive. You should come by. Yeah. Maybe today.
I might drive
I'll give
over.
You 10 points.
I might drive over. Not today. No.
No kids. Don't bring the kids up. There's a kid-free zone. Pull out. This is a pull-out office.
So does anybody at the office have kids?
Yeah. Todd McComas has an adult kid.
Oh. Wow.
He's like 20-some years old or something like that.
Okay. How's that? How's your knee feel? I'm about to wrap this up, by the way.
I feel good. My knees feel good.
Which knee? How many? Is it just your right knee you've had issues with, or left, or what?
I got 3 in the last 4 years of my career. 2 on my right, 1 on my left. I had a dislocated kneecap last season. Like my kneecap was just sitting outside of the groove all season. It hurt like a motherfucker. And they told me that it was because my IT band was tight. It was pulling it. So like they were working on my IT band and I can't walk at night. I'm like, man, I feel like there's something going on. I don't know if this is just an IT band. They're like, well, let's get you an MRI. I was like, I don't really want to know yet. I don't want to know until the end of the season, right? Let me finish this because I was having a great season. Broke a few records. Big deal. Pro Bowl. And then with a dislocated kneecap. So then I kept it going. And then the day after the last game, I go in and get the MRI, and they're like, yeah, so your kneecap has been sitting outside of the patella groove here for the 3 months. And then I had a chip, like a bunch of, what's that?
Bone spurs or something?
No, it was like ligament, like what's that shit called?
Cartilage.
I had a chunk of cartilage like the size of a small marble just floating around inside of there, just locking it up every once in a while. It was a pretty crazy thing. And I'm like, well, I think, you know what? I'm about sick of this shit happening. I'm about done with this happening. And that was really the thing that pushed me over to fully retire when I couldn't walk after games. I'm like, man, I am not tough enough to be dealing with this. I mean, I'm the punter here. I'm supposed to be able third string quarterback too. Let's not get crazy, but I'm supposed to be able to move after games and have fun. I'm supposed to like enjoy life after games. And I couldn't even walk for like 3 days. I would have to like go game ready at night. I would just have to game ready and like pain pill, smoke as much marijuana as I could, and then get to the next day. I was like, I'm done with this shit.
Wow. So wait, you weren't in the, how long were you in the program after your arrest? Because you can't smoke weed if you're in the program.
27 months. 27 months,
wow.
8 drug tests a month.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I questioned old Dr. Brown's doctorate the first day I went in, and that really came back to bite me in the ass.
Well, didn't you ever think about just getting another surgery and punting this year?
Yeah, I did, but I was sick of rehab.
Could you do you think I'm sure you could still bomb the ball now, couldn't you?
Yeah, I dominate, yeah.
So have you thought, you got any calls?
I've had a couple coaches before the season send me a text that are like, hey, if you ever get the itch just to, kick a couple balls, why don't you give me a call or whatever? But I don't think anybody, I need like 26 days or so.
To get ready?
Yeah, about 25 days, depending on how my fat cells are right now.
It doesn't matter. Why you can be as fat as you want. Why do you get colonics and all that before you wait? It doesn't matter.
Well, for this particular reason, it's because there's a large amount of THC floating through my body, and I do not want to get back into said program you're talking about. So I need about 3.5 weeks there. 3.5 weeks.
Is that all it takes, really?
Well, it depends on your fat. It's all in your fat cells.
So do you need to be fatter or skinnier?
I would have to lose some fat cells in 25 days. But for me, I just always found it embarrassing if I showed up at a gigantic weight. Like I thought that was, I'm a professional punter. I should not just be a gigantic fat ass either. So that's why I would, flush out the system a little bit with a colonic, or maybe drink a little of those minerals that make you shit for 6 hours. Just get the weight off real quick.
So you think you may stop with the THC intake maybe like a month out from the playoffs, just in case one of those contenders gives you a call?
I haven't thought about that till right now. I live in the moment.
Well, as a guy that sometimes plans, maybe you should plan that because someone might give you a ring.
Yeah, but do I really want to go do it?
You want to get a ring? Oh, you can go punt for 3 weeks, take a ring home.
I would love to get a ring.
Yeah.
I should think about that, huh? What week are we in right now, the NFL?
4 maybe.
We got 17 weeks in the season. And then, so I should probably stop around week 14.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, yeah.
So I got 10 more weeks. Let's enjoy these 10 weeks, though. Let's have a good 10 weeks here.
We'll check back in with you, Pat, in 10 weeks.
70 days. 70 days of freedom here, and then let's get to it.
Oh, man. I love it. All right. Pat, appreciate your time, man. We finally got you on here. Obviously, I've had a great time getting to know you over this last couple months. We host the Laces Out podcast together. I've been on your show, the Pat McAfee Show that you do with all your boys. It's killing it. You guys are all over the top of the chart, so we look forward to following you in the future, man.
I don't care about those charts. I think everybody's just competing against themselves. Like I think those charts are all just a lie. That's kind of how I look at it. But thank you so much for having me on the HawkCast. This has been a dream of mine. We were going to do it right before you retired.
Yeah, we were.
And then you got. I don't know if you quit, retired, or got cut. Literally the next day, we were talking about me coming on your show, and the next day you called it quits, and I was like, well, I'll just wait for him to call me back.
I never really called it. Like I don't know. I didn't really make anything official. I think I couldn't get to you. I think I got like a PR guy. One of your PR guys, Vibs or somebody, was like, hey, this is Pat's guy. He has multiple people on his team. You can't get to him. We'll think about having him on sometime.
You got cut. You got cut the day after we talked. That's what happened. I was trying to dance around it. You got cut the day after we talked.
From Cincinnati, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm okay I'm okay with being cut, Pat. I've been cut multiple times.
Hey, you know what? So is Michael Jordan.
Yes, he was. But actually, no, he wasn't. He just didn't play varsity as a sophomore. That's not getting cut, Michael.
Yeah, but it's a Gatorade commercial. It's an entire commercial or a Nike commercial. Get cut from your varsity basketball team. Start out as a walk-on, says J.J. Watt. Matt Ryan, lose. That commercial is the fucking worst. Serena Williams, be a part of the biggest upset in tennis history. Yeah, anytime you lose, it's the biggest upset in tennis history, Serena. That's not a big – I'm so sick of that. But you got cut the next day and then communication stopped.
I don't think so.
You can bet it.
Well, we made it happen, so here we are, man. Oh, real quickly, before we go, so your rookie year, you played in the Super Bowl. Do you think it's better to not make it to the Super Bowl than it is? Okay. Have I asked you that before? Yeah. Then go and lose?
Losing the Super Bowl is the worst. Because, you lost out on 6 weeks of the offseason, 5 weeks of the offseason.
Well, you got paid. You got some playoff money.
Make an extra $110,000. You're 100% right. That is incredible. But the fucking downfall from winning the Super Bowl to losing the Super Bowl is an emotional roller coaster that I've never seen or been a part of before. Because in the first half, we were winning. Here we go. I'm 22 years old. I'm about to have a fucking ring, a Super Bowl ring. I have money now for the first time in my life, and I'm about to go into an off season. What? Are you kidding me? Let's go. Second half. Fuck me. We lost. Nobody talks to anybody after the game. Everybody flies to different countries. See you later. Nobody talks for months. Misery. It's bad. Losing the Super Bowl is very difficult.
How'd you punt that game?
Good.
Pretty good?
Good. Yeah, I had to punt to Reggie Bush, too. That was back when Reggie Bush was Reggie Bush. I had to punt to him in that game.
Okay.
I had to punt backed up. No big deal. End of the half, first half, had to punt backed up. Standing in my own end zone. Rookie punter. Kid didn't even know how to punt a year ago. Now he's in the grandest stage of them all. Bang, hit a good one.
Were you nervous? Were you nervous for that backed up punt?
Yes. What are you talking about? Yes.
Did you just figure, did you think just catch the ball, just catch the snap?
Rule number one here. Don't trip coming on the field first. Don't trip and fall. Then once you get on the field, let's make sure we're at the proper distance away, because if you're too close and it gets blocked, 100% on you. Fuck. If you're too far and it gets blocked, 100% on you. So when you're in the end zone, there's no yard marker, so you're just guesstimating how far back you are, right? So you're like, I think this is about 14 and a half yards, 15 yards right here. Good. So then once you get in your spot, you're like, fuck, this is the Super Bowl right now. And then you look and you see old Reggie Bush back there. You're like, fuck, I saw that guy embarrass a lot of people when he was at the USC. And then you look to your right and it's Deion Sanders like, come on, baby. I'm like, fuck you. You're not on my side. So, yeah, it was a nerve-wracking moment, AJ. It was a very nerve-wracking moment.
You handled it. You're a better man for it. So good for you, Pat.
I don't know if I am, really. I just think I got through it. I don't think I handled it. I think I just survived. I didn't thrive.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just work on thriving in our skin-tight jeans with holes throughout and loose tank tops. What do you think?
And let's think about thriving. And right before we truly come to climax thriving, let's just pull out. So we stop creating a whole fucking basketball team. How about we do that?
I have 4 kids. 0 mistakes, Pat.
Now you're saying that. Wait till that 6-year-old's 14. Let's see what the fuck they're getting into. You're going to hand them the iPad. Fuck, here you go. I don't want to do shit.
Hey, I don't judge any parents, especially, sometimes as a parent, they're surviving. You got to survive.
I agree. That's why I don't want a kid, because I know my kid is going to be the worst kid on earth. I honestly believe the worst child in the history. You remember that little redhead kid? He was adopted. It was a movie.
Problem child.
Yeah, that's me. That's my kid. Without the red hair, obviously. We have a lot of soul in our family. But it's not going to be – that's going to be my kid.
Your kid's going to be that kid, or the absolute crazy smart kid that can barely interact with people socially?
Rain Man. I would like that. I'll give him that book 21 or whatever. We're going to get rich as a family.
That's right. Have him run your empire.
No, I was talking about just a blackjack table. That's all.
I know that. I'm just saying, if you have a kid that's that smart, I'm sure you will use him in multiple different facets of your life to promote money for you.
Absolutely. Kris Jenner, for sure. That's my kid.
Just start getting.
He might have a sex tape. Rain Man might have a sex tape if we have to. Let's get that sausage out there. Let's do this.
All right, man. Thanks for your time, Pat. Appreciate you coming on. Everyone will keep checking you out on Laces Out and the Pat McAfee Show. You guys do great work.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. This was a nightmare.
All right. Good job.
We're glad you could join us for today's conversation. After you subscribe to the show, head over to thehawkcast.com or reach out to AJ directly on Twitter at @officialAJHawk to recommend future guests that will help us inspire people to keep talking. Thanks again, and we look forward to speaking with you next time on the HawkCast.